In a world that constantly pulls men in every direction toward distraction, passivity, or blind conformity, what does it really mean to be competent, to be respected, to carry presence, not just physically, but in the way you move, speak, and operate? These questions aren't abstract. They define your quality of life, the quality of your relationships, and your capacity to lead. Today we're going to break down the 6 essential skills every man needs to build a strong, sovereign life. Not suggestions, not philosophies. These are practical, measurable, and absolutely necessary if you want to rise above mediocrity. Master these and you'll never move through life the same way again. The first skill is communication. Without it, your ideas die in silence. If you can't express yourself clearly, confidently, and calmly, you will be underestimated, even if you have value. Being able to communicate well isn't about talking the most or dominating conversations. It's about being intentional. Learn to speak slowly. Strip filler words from your vocabulary. Practice pausing between thoughts. Improve your vocabulary not to sound smart but to be precise. Whether you're leading a meeting, setting a boundary, or calming a conflict, your ability to command attention and speak with weight changes the way people respond to you. A man who communicates clearly doesn't need to raise his voice. His presence does the talking. Second, emotional control. Let's be honest, life isn't fair and people will test you. The man who reacts emotionally to every challenge reveals his lack of discipline. Mastering emotional control doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means having the strength to process them without letting them run your life. When you're angry, do you lash out or channel that energy into a focused response? When you're afraid, do you freeze or plan your next move? Emotional control allows you to navigate stress, conflict, and chaos without losing yourself. Practice mindfulness. Use breath work. Reflect instead of reacting. In every moment of pressure, you have 2 choices, impulse or intention. Only one of those builds strength. Third, physical capability. Your body is your first and last line of defense. If you're not physically competent, you're putting your safety, your energy, and your confidence in danger. You don't need to look like a model, but you need to be able to lift your own weight, endure discomfort, and move with strength. Strength training, calisthenics, martial arts. Pick something and commit to it. When you train your body, you train your will. You build proof that you can suffer for something better. And let's be honest, posture, eye contact, and a strong frame command more respect than 1,000 words ever will. Men who build themselves physically don't just become harder to kill, they become harder to ignore. Fourth, financial intelligence. Money is not just currency, it's control. It gives you options. It protects your family. It expands your choices. If you don't understand how to manage money, you'll always be a servant to someone who does. So you need to learn how to budget. Every single dollar should have a purpose. Learn to invest, whether it's in stocks, real estate, or maybe even businesses. Avoid debt that weakens you. And build income streams that don't rely on a boss. And just as important, you've got to learn how the system is actually designed to exploit ignorance. Understand taxes, interest, inflation. Once you understand the game, you stop playing as a pawn. Financial intelligence honestly is the difference between simply surviving and building a legacy. Fifth, strategic thinking. The world isn't random, it's structured. And the man who thinks long-term will always outmaneuver the one who lives moment to moment. You really need to cultivate foresight. Study systems, not trends. Think in terms of 5-year impact, not 5-minute gratification. Map out your goals. Reverse engineer your path. Anticipate roadblocks before they appear. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, a man who plans ahead and adapts quickly becomes a force. He sees angles others miss. He makes moves that look lucky, but they're not. They're calculated. If you want power, learn to think like a strategist. And finally, self-reliance. In a world full of dependency and blame, the self-reliant man stands out. He takes responsibility for his outcomes. He doesn't expect rescue. He becomes capable, not just in theory, but in practice. Learn to cook your own food, fix your own space, handle your emotions, and, control your schedule. You should be able to function at a high level, even when everything around you breaks. The self-reliant man isn't afraid of solitude. He sharpens himself in it. Because he knows that when you rely on others for your strength, they can take it away. But when it's yours, earned, tested, proven, it stays with you. These 6 skills, communication, emotional control, physical capability, financial intelligence, strategic thinking, and self-reliance, aren't optional in the pursuit of masculine mastery. They are the foundation. And the best part? Every single one of them is trainable. You don't need talent, you need time, effort, and consistency. Stop outsourcing your power. Build it, own it. This is the Sovereign Doctrine, where we forge men into forces, one skill at a time.